Now back to the show. This is AM 650's The Law Show.
Good to have you with us this morning. Joe Murphy, QC, is a lawyer and founding partner with Murphy Batista, LLP, a Vancouver personal injury law firm downtown at 650 West Georgia. Also joining us in studio for this program is Angela Price-Stevens, a lawyer who works a lot on medical malpractice files. Joe, when people come to Murphy Batista with personal injury issues or medical malpractice issues, we've discussed this already, this program. One of the first emotions that generally accompanies these individuals to your offices or on your phone is anger. People are pretty upset. They've had their lives disrupted, sometimes quite violently, and so they arrange to come down and see you. And so they sit down opposite you in your office and say, "All right, I know who you are. I heard you on the radio. I Googled you. You win a lot of court cases. You like to go to court. I want you to be my guy because I want to go to court. I want revenge. I have been wronged, and we need some dramatic outcomes here."
Sterling, those are usually the clients at the end of the meeting. I say, I can't help you. Good luck in finding a lawyer. They're clients who have a different agenda. Our system doesn't work on revenge. It works on damages for losses and expenses. And usually those are the people who, in a case, aren't going to listen to me. They're not going to listen to my advice because they've got their own agenda.
Right.
And those people, I say, good luck, but I can't help you.
Angela, you also go to court a lot. And when someone, is it possible to talk someone who has that revenge agenda into understanding that it's about the damages, as Joe just told us? That's the only return you're going to get on any legal action. And can people be talked down off that? If Joe just says, "I don't want to take your case," and so they go down the hall and say, "Well, maybe Angela will talk to me," you're not going to give them a different answer. You work for the same company. But what about that revenge element? I mean, can people be shown that it's not smart? It's just not going to accomplish anything.
Well, what I normally do is, sometimes people are embarrassed to talk about money. Well, this isn't about the money. This is about, as you say, revenge.
Right.
This is about accountability. This is making sure this guy never does this to anybody
Right.
again.
Yes, definitely.
Those are very common things.
Mm-hmm.
It's more unusual for somebody else to say the word revenge, but it's usually couched in terms of, I don't want the money. I just want to make sure this doesn't happen to anybody again.
Of course.
And so what I do is, I usually let them vent for a few minutes, and then I'll say, "Listen, what you have to understand is I'm a lawyer. I can only help you through litigation, and litigation is about money. And there's nothing bad in that.
Right.
I mean, money can help you,
Right.
but I'm not a counselor, although I like to give my time pretty freely. But this is only about money. It's almost a business arrangement, and you're not to be embarrassed about that. This is what we do.
Right.
And so, there's unlikely to be an apology. There's not going to be any of that. This is about how much money I can get you for what's happened.
Right. And of course, Joe Murphy Batista, right from the beginning with you and Joe Batista, has always been about helping people get their lives back or recover as much of their lives as they possibly can. And as Angela has just said, money is a tremendous vehicle to help accomplish some or most of that recovery.
Well, in reality, once a person's recovery is ended, money's the only thing that's going to make their life better.
Yes.
If they need help, if they can't work or can't work as much, money fills in the gap, but it's really not a perfect solution. So what we do is we look at what help and treatment a person needs in the recovery phase, and
Right.
we try and facilitate that. But after that is recovering damages, and the damages can be very large. The largest case I did was $8 million, and it was a girl who was injured at the age of 16, a terrible brain injury, which left her unable to work and requiring almost constant care.
Right.
And the reality is she would have given that money back in a second
Of course.
had she got her life back.
Of course,
So
sure.
huge amount of money.
But it's not something to be enjoyed.
But no, it was designed to provide the help that she and her mother needed for her lifetime. So, and it's a lot of money, but again, it doesn't fix the problem.
Is there a statute of limitations, by the way? And I'm using an American term, I know that, but we all get it. In terms of filing a complaint or a suit, particularly a lawsuit, with respect to either personal injury or medical malpractice, from the moment of the event that harmed you. Angela, what kind of framework do we have to act in?
Well, we do have the Limitation Act. It was updated. A new act came in just in the last 2 years. Now, the issue or topic of limitation can actually be very complicated. So I say that just up front before I then mention that there is a general 2-year period, but you can say no more without knowing the specifics of the case. I can say no more than that there is a general 2-year period from the date of injury to issuing a writ. As I say, it's not something I would generally advise off the cuff on the phone without having quite a bit more information, but it's really also from the date of knowledge. But most of the time the incident and the knowledge are, happens together, but not always.
Right.
Not always.
And Joe, I need you, we've only got a couple of minutes left, but I need you to amend what Angela just said with respect to children, because the law treats children differently in terms of the statute of limitations.
Yeah, Sterling, the law says it's the same 2-year rule, but the 2 years doesn't begin to run until the child reaches 19.
Oh.
Unless the insurance company gives notice to the family and to the public guardian and trustee that they want the 2 years to begin running earlier. So generally it's age 19 plus 2 years, but there is a mechanism in which the defense or the insurer can trigger the running of the 2 years before 19.
Angela?
And also, for the benefit of the listeners, it's so important not, if you're dealing with the injury of a child, it's so important that you do not just let time run away.
Right.
It's really important to get legal advice very early on.
Open a file.
Absolutely. Open a file, get
Right.
some advice. Initial advice isn't going to cost you anything.
Right.
And also, certainly at Murphy Battista, what we do is we get involved, just to bring, benefits and rehabilitation services to that child. We try to help as much as possible right from the beginning. So just because you hear 21st birthday is the kind of the drop dead date, for goodness sake, don't wait until the child is getting anything close to that.
Any child that is injured seriously that may at some point from which may originate some legal action, that injury should be noted, and a lawyer should be contacted. And a great place to start, friends, is Murphy Battista, downtown Vancouver at 650 West Georgia. They're in the Scotiabank Tower up there on the 20th floor. They're also online at murphybattista.com. Battista is Battista. I think you're probably pretty comfortable with the Murphy part. murphybattista.com, and all the contacts point for Joe Murphy, Angela Price-Stevens, and the entire staff is right there on the website, and the map and all the rest of it. Joe Murphy, Angela Price-Stevens, lovely to see you both again. Thanks for coming in. Another terrific episode of The Law Show.
Thank you, Sterling.
Thanks very much.
See you next weekend, friends. Have a great day.